Good morning and welcome. It's been a while since I've done a drumming stream. My wife ended up getting sick, and then I was like in the middle of a few-day fast, so I didn't feel like drumming when I was really hungry. All right, we are going to be working on drumkit today, and in these practice streams, all of the live streams, is it going to pull up? Nope. It's going to pull up the one that I was just editing. That's fine. I want to make sure I can actually see my chat. That one? Nope. Too small. Can't read. There we go. All right. We got multiple chats up for multiple different platforms. We're live on YouTube Vertical, YouTube Horizontal. We're live on Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, technically Facebook, but the chat's disabled there, as well as on Kick. So wherever you want to find this content, you can find it and access all of this free stuff that I'm going to be working on. Now, today I'm going to be practicing limb independence, and I'm specifically going to be working out of this book called 50 Ways of Syncopation by Don Moyle, as well as using some of the ideas in Gary Chester's books called New Breed 1 and New Breed 2. So in these streams, I like to share what I'm practicing and how I'm practicing. So in all of these prior stream recordings, there are timestamps in the description to show what I was either practicing, like what I was working on to try and improve as somebody who's been drumming since 1998, still got plenty of stuff to work on, or the things that I'm talking about, like teaching people. Often people will come into my chats and ask me questions because I've been drumming for a very long time, and I've been teaching since 2003. I have a bachelor's, master's, PhD in music education, so I have a wide range of performing and teaching experience, and people will often ask me questions. I will often edit those down and put them into this drumming tips playlist here that's got well over, I think, 13 hours of drumming tips that are all available for you for free. Now, the first topic in here, the title, is like the first thing that I talk about in these videos, and then there's a bunch more topics that are often included in all these drumming tips. Now, the thing that I'm going to be working out of is the play-alongs that are on my home tab of YouTube. So we've got chop exercises, we've got some gaming stuff, but we're not doing that right now. We've got a bunch of grid variations, limb independent stuff. This is where I'll be focusing my time. We've got a bunch of marching bass exercises, some drumline scores, as well as some scratch content if you're into computer science stuff, technique exercises, tips and lessons, blah, 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 blah. Now, I recently updated the home tab on my YouTube, so it's got a bunch of different content on here. But for any one of these headers, if you click on it, it'll expand and show you just that type of content. So I'm going to be working on limb independent stuff, and I'm going to be using the playlist, or the spreadsheet right here, Shia LaBeouf, that keeps track of like what I'm doing and how I'm doing with it, so whether or not it sounds good or it needs a lot of work, etc. So normally when I'm practicing this and trying to refine things, I'm skipping all the ones that sound technically proficient, like playing the ink on the page, or sound musical, like sounding really good. And I'm focusing on the ones that are meh or needs a lot of work, so the ones that aren't yet great. But I'm going to jump right into one that I actually do know, and we're going to skip Shia LaBeouf today because I'm running late. Sorry about that. I was doing a lot of edits offline. But last time we played through this, it was 175 and it was fun. So nope, we're not going 1700 BPM. And what exactly am I going to do? Under the limb independence section, there's straight charts and swung charts. So I'm going to go to the swung drum charts from 160 to 240. Inside of this particular playlist, there are 55 drum charts in here that allow you to pick a BPM and then practice it. So in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and go with charts number 1 through 5. And I go into the timestamps in the description, and it allows me to jump to whatever BPM I want. So I want to play this at 175. And what am I going to play? I'm going to play a ride pattern, just ding-ding-a-ding, your typical ding-ding-a-ding with 2 and 4 on the hi-hat. Okay, very basic jazz pattern here. All the short notes, so eighth notes, are going to be played on the snare drum. Long notes are going to be on the bass drum. Okay, this is a very basic short long pattern that I'm going to use with these charts that are right on here. Okay, so if we go to 175 and click, it will then, whoa, that is definitely not the resolution that I would like. 1080, please. Thanks. We're going to go ahead and close this. There we go. And it's going to count you off, and then you just play along to it once it plays. Okay. You can't hear the click track because there's like a slight timing delay with the mics, but it's there. Okay, so again, short notes on the snare drum and long notes on the bass drum. 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, and. My drum trigger is not picking up all the sounds. Try and fix that. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2. Here we go. Now, because there's 55 charts in here, it makes it so that you can practice sight reading on doing this. So I do not have these memorized. I'm just kind of reading through them. 1, 2, ready, and... That vocal part was implied. You'll figure it out. You'll know when it's supposed to happen. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2. Here we go. Alright, last chart, and then we'll do a stretch and massage, and then we'll do a different limb independence patterns instead of this version of short long. 1, 2, ready, and... Sweet. So that particular chart is just one of 55 charts that you can find, again, on my home tab of YouTube. This particular playlist is from 160 to 240, so these are fast. Just use the timestamps in the description. But if you go back to my home tab on here and just scroll down past the chop stuff, past the grid variations, it's right in limb independence. And if you click, it expands. You can do these straight or swung. And you can go as slow as 40, all the way up to 240, whatever you want to work on. Now, for whatever reason, my drum trigger, which I use because these are the mesh heads, so they're extra quiet, wasn't working, so apologies. Let's stretch and massage. So the first one that I'm going to do is a stretch for the side of the forearms. You take your sticks, hold them like this. You pull in, you push through. It's a weird stretch, but if you go down to the drumming lessons playlist on YouTube, there's a video on there that is this hand routine saved my drumming, and it gives you better camera angles showing how I'm doing these different stretches. The next stretch that you could do if you do traditional is you rotate and hold to one end, then rotate the other end. I don't play traditional anymore, so I'm not going to worry about that. Now I'm going to stretch the underside of the forearm. You could do it one at a time. You could do this on the wall. You could do two at a time. Just don't put all your weight into it. I don't want to stand up right now, so I'm just going to do one at a time. You could also do this on your drum, a large mammal, a boulder if you happen to have one inside of your room, whatever works for you. Again, this is for stretching the underside of your forearm. If you want a deeper stretch, do 2 fingers and then 2 fingers, whatever works for you. And then switch to the other arm, the other side. Do this daily, like whether you're drumming or not. Especially if you're drumming a lot, do it after you warm up, but then also do it like later on in the day. So if you drum in the evening, then do it in the morning. If you drum in the morning like I do, then do it in the evening. A couple times a day, it helps keep your hands healthy. As somebody who was heading in a wrong direction with technique and hand health. Now I'm going to stretch the top side of the forearm. So you could do it like this. You could do 2 fingers, but you could do it on your legs and it goes twice as fast, which is, convenient. Now, drum set is not my primary instrument. My primary instrument is actually rudimental March snare. For many years, stretching the fingers. So all this limb independent stuff is a relatively new skill that I've been working on, but it's a fun challenge. I'm really enjoying it. After having done like drumline stuff for over 20 years, I feel old. I'm enjoying the challenge of working on the limb independent stuff. Now, the way I'm practicing it and how I'm developing it, I outline in a video that's in each one of those like playlists with all the charts. It's towards the top, and it says like how to develop limb independence or something like that. It's pretty straightforward which one you're supposed to click on. But it has a series of steps to go through that outlines exactly like what kinds of things to work on for each one of the steps to develop your limb independence, which is, helpful. That's the goal at least. All right, now that we've stretched our forearms and now that we've stretched our fingers, now I'm going to do a massage routine. So I'm just kind of working my way up and down the forearm. And then we'll get back into drumming here in a couple more minutes. That's the plan. And then this one. So just trying to loosen everything up. Healthy hands, relaxed hands means you can drum when you're my age, which is 95. I look great for 95, don't I? Now I'm going to massage the back side of the hand with the fingers, and then the palm is going to get massaged by the thumb. Just kind of work your way around. Try to loosen things up. And switch. You might need to spend more time or less time on each one of these stretches and massages. This depends on like how your hands are feeling. Every day's different. Depends on what you did the last like 48 hours or so. And then the last one I'm going to do is massage base the tip of each one of the fingers at least 2 times. And then we will get back on the grind. Just kind of working your way. Ooh, ASMR. Enjoy that pop. Working your way from the base to the tip. Trying to relax everything. From the larger muscles all the way down to the fingers, which is why we start with working on our forearms. You might also need to relax and massage and stretch your shoulders or even your biceps, like especially if you do a lot of traditional. The bicep moves up and down while you do that. But I already like do all that when I do a workout in the morning, so I don't need to do it here. But sometimes when I used to teach drumline, like their shoulders would get super tight because wearing the carrier and whatnot. So we would do like different types of shoulder stretches, things like that, to try and relax things. Cool. All right, so we're gonna go back into here. So it was mostly technically proficient. Had a little reading error at one point, but I had fun with it. Awesome. So this spreadsheet just allows me to keep track of, like, on average, how am I playing. So on average, I am technically proficient with this, and that's good. Now let's do another one. I did this one, I don't know, like 2-3 weeks ago, something. So let's review it again. So what's the pattern that I'm doing? So the pattern is, we're doing swung again, and it is Ding, 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 ding. But you get rid of the ding, ding, dings. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you're gonna play the short notes on the tom. The long notes are gonna be on the bass drum and the ride simultaneously. While you fill in ghost notes. You know, my shirt. Ghost note. Ah. Now it makes sense. So you're going to play... If you're playing eighth notes. And then you're going to play... Okay? Boom, chick, chick, boom, chick, chick, boom, chick, chick, boom, chick, chick. While you do 2 and 4 on the hi-hat. Okay? So that's the plan, at least. Let's see, how fast did we do it last time? 142? I want to actually go a little bit leisurely today, so we're going to go 130, because it did not sound good last time, so it was meh, it was out of control. That's not good. Alright, so we're on my home tab of YouTube. We're scrolling down just a little bit. Again, there's literally over 2,000 different exercises in here for you to practice, and then over a dozen hours of drumming tips and lessons, so enjoy, you're welcome. Happy to make that content. But I'm going into the limb independent section, and I'm scrolling down to the swung charts, and I'm going to do 130. So we're going to go in here, and then you can pick any one of these charts to be able to work on it. So, sure, we'll go 16 through 20. And for the charts, you go into the timestamps in the description, and you can pick whatever BPM you want, and then it'll count you off, and you're ready to go. Alright. One, two, ready, and ding, ding, ding. Okay, so we're going to get rid of the ride here in a moment, but I'm just kind of playing this for time so you can have a reference point. Because you can't hear the play along. It's playing though. 1, 2, here we go. Had a little reading in there. Hooked on phonics did not work for me, as you can see. Alright, chart 17. Again, short notes on the tom, long on the bass and the ride, fill in with ghost notes. Cool. That was a lot of ghost notes on the snare drum. Chart number 18. Every one of these charts feels different. I wrote them that way on purpose. 1, 2, here we go. one. I like it. Again, this is out of Don Moyo's book called 50 Ways of Syncopation. So these are the patterns that we're working on. Okay, this one will be interesting. We did it. Yay! Last chart for this particular play along, and then we'll work on another limb independence variation. A one, a two, ready, and. Whoops. All right, we did it. So this time we did it at 1:30. On average, it was technically proficient. I'll take it. I had fun with it. I enjoyed it. So slowing it down was better than what it was last time. Yay, improvement. That's what we want to see. And using a chart like this, a spreadsheet, makes it so that you can keep track of it. Is it nerdy? Yeah. I have a doctorate. I'm a nerd. What can I say? Does it make you better? Yeah. 10 out of 10. What's another fun one to play through? Let's do a straight one. This one's one of my favorite straight patterns to play through. And last time we played through it at 185. Okay, so what are we doing? So for your feet, you're gonna go right, left, both on 4. So right, left, both. Right, left, both. While you play 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and on the ride. Okay, so simple enough. It bops. You can even do it on the bell but you can't really hear it too good because this is the low volume cymbals. You know, you don't annoy people if you live in an apartment or if you have like housemates or a wife like I do. Thankfully, she's a drummer, so she's not annoyed, but they're not as loud, so you can't really hear all the little nuances as good as a normal set of cymbals. Okay, let's see. So we're going to go back to my home tab on YouTube. So again, this is where you can find over 2,000 free play-alongs and whatnot. Over 2,000. All the chop stuff here, gaming stuff, because, you know, I create a lot of content. All the grid variations, there's over 1,000 of those, literally. If you click on it and expand, it shows you all the playlists. We've got all the limb independent stuff, the marching bass stuff, the drumline scores, so like cadences, computer science stuff, because I also taught that. We've got a lot of technique exercises, and then all the drumming tips. Just click on the header and it expands and it shows you all these different playlists. Anyways, so I'm going to be working out of the limb independent stuff, and so we're using straight charts now. So when I click on the header and expand this, the limb independent stuff, I can't speak, I'm working at 180. So I'm going to go to the straight drum charts, 160 to 240, and there's 55 drum charts in here that you can pick from. If you want to learn how to develop like the limb independence to get to this point, watch this video, how to develop limb independence on the drum kit, okay? It'll help you out. That's a Jared guarantee. Let's see. I don't think I've done this one. So I'm reading the parts on the snare drum while I'm playing the Baião pattern on the feet and the ride pattern 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. Okay? That's the plan, at least. So I think I clicked 185. Sometimes I can number correctly. Sometimes I can't. 1, 2, ready, and. Right, left, both. Right, left, both. Right, left, both. That gets your hi-hat on 2 and 4. Here we go. I read that wrong. Man, that hooked on phonics. I need a refund on that. It's just not working for me today. Chart 12. Here we go. Feel free to add in dynamics. Feel free to add in some buzzes, some crushes, some bell hits. Add some textures. Once you get it technically proficient, make it musical. Here we go. Nice. Now, unfortunately, because there's a drum trigger playing on the mesh heads, it makes it so you can't hear all the little nuances, like the crushes and stuff. Alright, last chart for this pattern, then we're going to do another one. I'm going to do one that makes it so you play 3, 4 in the feet while you play 4, 4 in the hands. You'll see what I mean in a minute. And let's go back and keep track. So 185. It wasn't just technically proficient, it was musical. Yay! That's the ultimate goal. Unfortunately, again, because of mesh heads and drum trigger, you can't hear, like, buzzes, or even sometimes ghost notes, like those. But you can do a lot of fun stuff, changing the sounds of your kit. That's neat. All right. Next pattern that I'm going to work on, that I hinted at. This is a fun one. So again, this is out of Don Moyo's book, 50 Ways of Syncopation. Highly recommend it. Where's it at? Yeah. Number 14, if you're working out of the book. So the last time I did this, I did it at what speed? 160. Okay. Let's try and make it more musical. We'll do it at 160 again. Okay, so what am I doing? So you know how, like, you normally ding, 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 ding. This is a swung pattern, obviously. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, cool. We're gonna keep the right hand playing 1, 2, 3, 4. This pattern is gonna keep doing the same thing. 1, 2, 3, and the feet. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. While you read through the patterns in 4/4 on the snare drum, reading through the charts. Cool. So follow along with me. All right, so we're going back to my home tab of YouTube. And then you scroll down. You got chop stuff, gaming stuff, grid stuff. We're working on limb independent stuff. There's over 2,000 exercises in here for free. Oh, by the way, all the members' first ones are scheduled to release for free. There's almost 500 of them. If you want early access to any of those, because like some of them are really cool, I made a tier as low as possible on YouTube, but it's like 99 cents US dollars. It's the lowest I can make it. So if you want early access, you can get it, but you don't have to pay for any of this content. I don't sell courses. I don't even teach lessons anymore. I want all this content to be free. So you don't have to sign up for it to get the content. Let's see. I think I skipped this one. No. I don't remember. Let's do, sure, this one. I know I haven't played this one today. All right, 160. Click. Timestamps are in the description. So you can go to whatever BPM you want. I'm doing it at 160. Let's do it. 1, 2, ready, and 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Again, while doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 in the hands. I can't speak. 1, 2, ready, and. It's weird. Especially because her foot doesn't line up with a downbeat until the third chart. The start of that. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and. Okay, so if I did it right, it should line up with the downbeat of this chart, right when it starts. We'll find out. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, ready, and. Yay! Sweet. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and. All right, last chart. This one really messes with your brain when you're first learning it. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, here we go. Cool. Weird one, right? It's fun, though. It's a good challenge. Here. All right, so I added in a lot more musicality to that. So a lot of dynamic changes and whatnot, and some timbre texture changes with some crushes, which, again, you can't necessarily hear. So we're going to mark it as musical, and I had fun while playing through it. Progress. Good. Let's see. What's another one that I want to play through? Doot. Why, hello on YouTube. Thanks for stopping in. Now, normally I'm practicing the stuff that I'm terrible at, so we're skipping that today. Today's a review, because I haven't played in over a week, so I want to review some fun stuff. Let's see. Oh, this is a good one. From Montreal, nice. Welcome. Okay, so this one. All right, so you're gonna play nothing with the left. Actually, this hand's just gonna chill. So the pattern is just one. Okay, easy enough, right? But now you're gonna do a V pattern. So you're gonna go like that. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now when you do this, you could pivot at the elbow like a tenor player. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. Or you could use like what's called a Julie Spencer technique that some people would do on mallets or multi-percussion, where you actually turn your hand over and then hit. It's less arm motion and can feel fine here. It just gives you a slightly inconsistent sound, which on drumkit is fine. But on, like, drumline, no, don't do this on, like, tenor drums. That'd be bad. So you'd normally just do it like this, okay? Alright, so we're gonna do that while reading the patterns on the foot, okay? So, let's see. Last time I played through this, we played through it at what speed? 140. Okay. Let's do it again at 140. So we're going to go back to my home tab. Back again. Guess who's back? Tell a friend. So on my home tab with all the exercises on here, there's like a ton of stuff for rudimental. That's what my background is in. Drum kit I'm just kind of doing for fun. So if you want to work on your rudimental, do the technique exercises. Although the chop exercises up here are fun, there's a reason why there's 1,000 grid variations and over 360 technique exercises, because they're more important than the chop stuff. So trust me, as somebody who's been teaching since 2003, focus on those if you're rudimental. Anyways, we're doing the limb independent stuff, so we're gonna go into here. And it was 140, right? Yes, work brain. Okay, so 140. So I'm gonna go into the straight charts, and we're gonna do straight drum charts 100 to 159. And you can pick any one of these. I don't think I played through 6 through 10 today, so let's do that. In all of these play-alongs, because they go 1 BPM at a time, 1 click at a time, I'm thorough. You just click on it, and then it'll count you off. So this gives you a few seconds to get yourself set up, and then it will make it so that you can play through whatever it is you're working on. 1, 2, ready, and... Okay, this is a pattern that we're playing. Just this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and reading it on the foot. 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go. Can I beat reggae music? No, that is the final boss. I have not been able to conquer that one yet. And unfortunately, it's a roguelike, so I had to start all the way back over again with jazz. 1, 2, here we go. I love you. Bye. Talk to my wife. Why is it not playing the snare? What do you mean play something? I've been doing that for the last 40 minutes. I read that wrong. Hello. Can I play a blues beat? I mean, normally you do like a shuffle. So it's kind of like some of the jazz stuff I was doing earlier. Can I try jazz? I just played several jazz ones earlier. Like 3/4 in the foot with 4/4 in the hands. That one was a fun one. If you rewind a little bit, you can see it. Oh, 1, 2, here we go. Read that wrong. Woo! But can you hit weird time signatures innately? Music's not an innate skill at all. I say that as somebody with a PhD in music education. I've actually done research on it. It's not a thing. So if anyone's curious, if you go to, so like my website /drum has like all the play-alongs I'm using here organized into one thing. So like if you don't want to see any of the gaming stuff or you don't want to see any of the computer science stuff, go to the /drum and this has all the play-alongs there. But if you want to see my background, if you go to /cb, it takes you here and it actually has all my publications as well as all of my presentations available for free. So if any of these like publications sound interesting, just click on it and it'll send you to a different part of my website. So you can see all of these 100+ presentations and the dozen+ publications and whatnot. Or if you go to the publications section, you can check them out there. But my background, I initially started researching skill acquisition and expertise development in relation to music when I was working on my PhD. And then I shifted over to focus on the intersections of video games, music, and computer science, and those like combinations. But all that to say, there's no such thing as an innate ability when it comes to music. So if you actually look at the scholarship, literally decades worth of research on abilities in music, it all comes down to practice. So there's this process known as myelination in your brain, where your brain will develop an ability over time by reinforcing it. So like when I'm working on like the Baião pattern, when I was first doing that one, and I was going right, left, both, left, both. This took a long time for my feet to be able to get to where I could play it, let alone be able to add in the different patterns while doing it, let alone being able to talk while doing it, or like reading the different chart patterns like I was doing earlier while doing it. So it took a lot of time to be able to develop the processes to be able to make it so that I could do this. That process in your brain is called myelination. It's basically where you're going from like a single lane highway to like a 10-lane freeway or something, where your connections, the axons between the different neurons in your brain are strengthened through myelination. It's this coding process that makes it so that you can think less while you are playing. So the people who have so-called innate abilities, there's air quotes there, are indistinguishable from people who practice for 50 hours on average, because it takes about 50 hours to develop myelination when you're like working on any kind of a skill. And I say that as somebody who's taught every grade in kindergarten through doctoral student, every band instrument I've taught, and then percussion since 2003. It's not innate. So if you feel like you can't do something, you just got to practice more or develop a better system for practicing. And fortunately for you, if you go to we'll just go back to YouTube, I guess, since that's where we were. Where's it at? Where's my tuba view? There's my tuba view. So if you go back to YouTube, on my home tab, which is where we've got all of the thousands of free exercises, if you scroll all the way down to the tips and lessons, I talk about this more in like the drumming tips. A lot of methods for like how to practice. So there's a bunch of videos in here, over a dozen hours of free tips. But there's a lot of strategies for how to practice and what to focus on and things to look out for, etc. So yes, you can learn odd time signatures and whatever you want. It just takes practice. I promise. I was literally the worst drummer in my school my freshman year, and I got cut from playing quarter notes. It was literally just keeping time on a cowbell, and I could not do it, and it got cut from me. I was that bad my freshman year, and what ended up happening is the drumline section leader like came over and was yelling at me because I couldn't play this because I was just so bad. And it was like he did it in front of the entire band, and so it was actually like an experience where I went home and I was like, that didn't feel good. I don't want that to happen again. What would happen if I were to just practice intensely? And I used all my powers of autism and just practiced several hours a day, every day for years. And I eventually got to the point where I got a full ride in percussion performance my senior year of high school, so like 3 years after that incident, and then became like section leader of every drumline that I've been on and every concert percussion group that I was in, basically. So it just takes practice, like a lot of it. But it's fun. If you can learn to enjoy playing through this stuff, then yeah, you can get better at whatever it. What do I think of Jacob Collier? Brilliant musician. Seems to really enjoy what he does. And yeah, makes some interesting music. It's not stuff that I would like listen to and like roll down the windows and like bop in my car and be like, yeah, but like it's like musically complex and interesting. But I feel that way about a lot of the stuff that I heard in the however long I was in the PhD program. And well, I guess I was in school at the School of Music since 2003 to 2018 is when I finally finished the doctorate. So that like extended tenure, I heard a lot of weird and interesting music. And his is kind of an in-between, the contemporary pop. It's good, but not something that I necessarily listen to. Anyways, let's play another pattern. So that one was this one, and we played it at 140, and I had fun with it. So it's a weird pattern, but it's a good one. Let's see. I have fun. Cool. Let's go back to another one since we're just reviewing today. In 2 days, when I come back to drumkit, because tomorrow will be technique stuff like rudimental, I'll work on all these ones that don't sound great yet. So all the ones that are meh, but we're skipping in them today. Um, mm, 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 mm. Let me go back. So I'm gonna do the one that I started off with, and I'm just going to emphasize what to do when you're started. So when I was playing earlier, and I was doing the 1, 2, 3, 4, well, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, all doing like the 3, 4 over the 4, 4 stuff. Like, it's cool. It's a neat thing to work on, but you're not gonna play that as much as like the basics, the ding, ding, ding. So if you're doing some jazz stuff, when you're playing through, like reading through like Ted Reed's syncopation book, or any of the stuff from Dom's book, or Gary Chester's book, New Breed series, focus on the fundamentals. Don't worry about like, I'm going to play 7/16 over 4. Cool. You're never going to play that. You could spend hours rehearsing that, but you're not going to play that as much as you would play ding, 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 just a basic jazz pattern if you're in a jazz band. So I'm going to play again, reading the short notes on the snare drum and reading the long notes on the bass drum. Focus on those fundamentals, and this right here is an absolute fundamental if you're playing some swung stuff. So if you're on my home tab of YouTube, scroll down to the limb independence. If you click on the header for it, it'll expand it, and work on reading through it. We played it fast last time, right? Let's take a look. What? Yeah, 175. Let's go 150. We'll go at a much more comfortable speed. So if anyone who's newer wants to try this out, you can play any of these 55 drum charts in here. Highly recommend it. We'll actually play the same charts that we were doing earlier. So 1 through 5. Ty, hello on Instagram. Welcome back. We're starting Uncharted here in like 30 minutes. So stay tuned. The first game. Anyways, all right, so it'll count you off, and then you'll play through it, and it'll sound perfect, right? First time through. So short notes on the snare drums, long notes on the bass drum. Little slower than what we were doing earlier. Just a nice leisurely tempo. Try and focus on making it expressive if you can play the ink on the page. Once you can do that, add some textures, some timbres, make it sound better. Cool. Which Uncharted are we playing? The very first one. I'm gonna go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're gonna do all 5 of them, all at the same time with one hand. Ready, and... Just kidding. We'll play the first one. When we beat that, I can't talk while playing. We'll go to the second one. Thank you for the sub on the tube review. Again, the home tab is where you can find over 2,000 free exercises, play-alongs, and a lot of drumming tips. Don't go to my video tab. It's too much. When there's over 2,000 videos, you won't ever find anything you're looking for. Uh-oh. My phone alarm is going off. So if you hear Final Fantasy, that's what that is. It's the battle music. Turn off, thank you. A 1, a 2, 1, 2. Hard mode activated. I love those phrases that bleed over the bars there. So that little pattern, duck duck ooh, ba 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 ooh, ooh, ooh. They're fun to write and play. 1, 2, ready, and. Again, hooked on phonics, not working great for me today. Have I tried a game called Spelunky 2? So we looked up like multiplayer, like 4-player, same screen, split screen games that we could play when we had some friends coming over. Because my wife and I are both gamers, but the other 2 people were not. And so we tried playing Spelunky because it had 4 players, if I'm remembering correctly, and it went terribly. Just got absolutely annihilated because we didn't know what we were doing, and the 2 other people were not gamers, so we got destroyed. But it was funny. I think we then played Overcooked after that, and that was also interesting. The other couple, it was a test of their marriage. They were just kind of like yelling at each other. It was funny. But that's because I was not being yelled at or yelling at my wife, so it's only funny when it's not happening to you. Anyways, so every one of these play-alongs, all 2,000 plus of them, there's timestamps in the description. So make sure you open up the description so you can be like, I don't want to play that at 150. I want to play that at 159, or I want to play it at 40, or whatever you want. Now, to find all the play-alongs, you could go to the link at the top of the screen. This shows you everything without any of the other content I create, because I also do gaming, which I'll do here in like 15, 20 minutes. And then I also do computer science stuff because I'm a nerd. But you can find all the chop stuff, all the 1,000 plus grid variations, all the limb independent stuff that I was just working on, the video on how to develop limb independence, a bunch of marching bass stuff, 464 exercises. We've got some drumline cadences, over 360 technique exercises, and then all of the drumming tips, lessons, live streams, blah, 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 blah. That's all found in the first link at the top of every single one of my drumming videos. But if you want to stay on YouTube, which is totally cool, yesterday I actually revamped my home tab of YouTube to make it even easier to sort through the content. So if you go to my home tab on here, you can find, if you scroll down, the chop exercises at the top. Everything's alphabetical, followed by gaming, followed by grid, followed by limb independence, marching bass drum, all of the scores, the scratch stuff, technique exercises, tips and lessons, and then the vlogs. So if you want to find everything, you can find it on my home tab. Just click on the header to expand to show you all of the playlists, because YouTube only shows you 12 of them. So for example, this is the farthest you can go, and it goes up to flam drags for grid variations. But if you click on grid, then you can scroll down and you can see that it goes much further. So the flam drag stops here, but then it shows you more of the playlist. Same thing for the technique one. That one also says to click for more, and that has a bunch of extra ones in here that you can use. Go slow. Follow the tips in here. There's over a dozen hours of tips to help you out in there. And again, I've been drumming since 1998, and I've been teaching every grade, kindergarten through doctoral student, since 2003, because I have a bachelor's, master's, PhD in music education. So I know some things about how to teach and how to play that might be able to help you, so you can learn that content in here for free. If you see a video that says members first, that means it's scheduled to release for free. Like this one comes out tomorrow, this one comes out next Friday, but there's almost 500 of those because there's a new play along releasing daily. So if you really like one of these play-alongs and you're like, I want to be able to play it now, but I don't have access to it because it's members first, I have YouTube tiers set up for the membership, and you can actually join for the lowest tier possible on YouTube, which is 99 cents for signing up for it. Or you could just wait and it comes out for free. So you don't have to pay for any of my content. I'm not going to sell you a course. I'm not selling lessons. I don't sell an app. I don't sell paid content. This is just a 100% optional thing if you don't want to wait a year plus for the content to come out. But yeah, anyways. You haven't been to World 3 yet of Spelunky? Yeah, I don't even think we made it past the first level. Because it was just like those little snake dudes and the bats or whatever just like absolutely annihilated us. Anyways, I am going to tear down for right now. Tomorrow, it will be a drum technique stream. So I'll be refining my technique, working on some rudimental stuff. So you can check that out. I'll be playing through some of the technique exercises in here. But I'm going to get set up right now for some gaming. So we're going to start the first game in the Uncharted series. And you can find all the gaming stuff if you click here on the gaming header, and then it shows you all the highlights as well as all the prior games that I streamed. But anyways, I hope you enjoy the new layout on the home tab. Hopefully it's easier for you to find all the content and sort through it. So like if you just want to focus on marching bass stuff, well, boom, I got you. You don't have to like scroll through to find the marching bass stuff. But I'm going to call it here. We'll be back on here in probably 15 or 20 minutes doing some gaming stuff, and then we'll be back on the drum stuff tomorrow. But anyways, appreciate you all. Hope you have a good day, and goodbye.